We will start with Brian Sandalo from the Chicago Sun-Times.
Sure. Thanks, E, and thanks, Fabi, for making some time for us this afternoon. We always appreciate talking to you. And just wondering, we just were told that Jairo and Fedi are out for a little bit of time now. So I know you guys had a bit of a preview of playing without both of them last week, but now how does that change things moving forward, knowing that you'll be without both of them for at least this week and potentially more?
Yeah, to be fair, I thought that it might be maybe a couple of weeks for them based on, how they went down. Usually if it's a muscular injury, you always have to be careful. They cannot really start too soon. But again, I think, we have to adjust, obviously, as a team. Going forward, we still have a lot of depth that we've showed in the past game as well. We had guys that come in and play the position to the best of their abilities as well. So and we got to go back with the new players in. So I think we adjusted well, and we have to keep compensating those losses as a team in order to move forward and try to get results.
Thank you. Next up, we have Alex Calabrese from Men in Red 97.
Thank you. Hey, Fabi. Hope you're doing well today. So this weekend, you're going to get to go back to Philadelphia as a former Union player. Obviously, you've been back there a couple times since you came to the Fire. But just tell us a little bit about what you're expecting from the opposition this weekend. Looking forward to them.
Yeah, since I left, it's now, I think, almost a little bit more than 4 years ago. But yeah, I always look forward to seeing old friends to go back. Obviously, they have evolved a lot under Jim Curtin. When I was there, they didn't play that high pressing 4-4-2 in a diamond in the midfield yet. But now they're really good at that. They're really used to that system, and they kind of perfected it last season, I think, as well, where they actually deserve to win the MLS Cup. Obviously, they press high. They're a very physical team, very direct with the ball. They go up, find their forwards quick, and then try to get the second ball, and then find the runners in behind real quick. So I think we have to be aware of that because those are weapons that they have. But I do think that they're also beatable. We've shown it last year. Miami showed it now, when they just won 2-0 against the Philly. So I think they're still trying to find the groove as well, and I think no team in MLS is really unbeatable. So you can still go there and get a result.
Thank you. Next, we have Joe Chats from OnTap Sportsnet.
Hi, Fabi. Thanks, E. Fabi, your goal on Saturday came really from creating a chance in contested spaces, and it was really the only shot on goal for the team in the evening. How can you ensure that while you're creating chances for yourself, you're also going to be creating chances for the team and creating more goal-scoring chances throughout the match, especially as you're probably going to see a bigger role?
Just because you didn't hit the target as much doesn't mean you didn't have quality chances. I remember that offside goal that was really close. I think a couple blocked shots where Shaqiri had one later in the game after the cross. I think if those kind of things don't get blocked, they're on target. So we count it statistically as a shot on target, But I do agree that we can still create more. I think the flow of the game was still a little bit too slow, especially in the first half against NYCFC. But I think if we move the ball a little bit quicker from side to side, it was the first game for us, so it was still, all the other teams already had a game played in MLS. So, it was still a little bit rusty in the first half, but then I think in the second half we got a little bit more of a groove, of a flow to the game, and then we moved the ball a little bit quicker. And if we can continue to do that, moving the ball from side to side, find spaces in between, find our best players on the ball, like Shaqiri, that can turn forward and then find the runners off the ball. I think then we can be more successful going forward and have more shots on target, if you will.
Thank you. Next, we have Hernan Espinosa from La Fiera Deportiva.
Hey, Fabi, how are you?
Good. You?
Good. Thank you. My question is about the the people that show up, 20,000, almost 20,000 people cheering that goal that you score. What do you think about it? They come out even in the rainy situations, and what do you say to the fans? After the tie 1-1.
Yeah, of course. I was sitting on the bench and I was talking to Kai Kamara. I think that I was surprised that many people actually showed up, because honestly, it's really tough to to come out to these games in March, April weather where it's super cold. Especially if you have family and kids. It's not really a fun environment to be in, because it's just super cold, and if you're just standing there or sitting there, it's even colder than if you were running on the pitch. So huge credit to the fans that came out, supported us. I think you could really feel the energy, especially in the second half. I felt it with a goal. I think it's probably the best crowd that I've had. Scoring a goal in front of the home fans. So I'm really grateful for the atmosphere, for the people that came out and really support us and pushing us to the last second. And almost we came away with a win. But hopefully, we can do that in the future and celebrate many more together.
Thank you. Next, Brian Sandalo.
Sure. Thanks, E. Fabi, since you've been here, and especially under Rafa, Wiki, and now Ezra, you've carved out a really nice role as like a super utility guy. You can play on the wings. You played centrally. You can play deeper. How have you done that? And how do you feel about the role that you have, carved out with the Fire the last few seasons?
Right. I think a strength of mine was always that I'm a very flexible guy. I'm versatile in my positioning. I started out actually in Philadelphia as a number 9. That's where they drafted me, and I think coming to Chicago under Paunovic, I was still sort of the 9, and then made my transition. They used me as a 6, as a 7. I think I have overall a good understanding for the game, and know what each position kind of requires, and then try to do it to the best of my abilities, and try to help the team, obviously. Give everything, put everything out on the pitch. Obviously, I would love to have that one position and play 34 games there, 90 minutes. But at the same time, it is what the situation requires and what the team requires. And if I'm that super guy that always comes into that position and to help out the team, I'm happy to do so. So I'm grateful for every minute that I get to play on the pitch, and I want to give back also, because the coaches trust me, and I want to give back with my performance. So
Yeah, I'm just wondering, how hard is it to have to play effectively, possibly 5 actually, if you count both wings, so what kind of preparation does that take for you both mentally and physically?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, each position requires a little bit of a different skill set. If you're out on the wing, you have more high-speed runs. You have more of high acceleration loads where you try to press. You go running behind. Whereas as a number 6 or 8, you more have this steady pace where you're kind of jogging and trying to look more around left and right, because it's more 360 the game. When you're out on the wing, you have the whole field in front of you. But when you're in the middle, you have to know who's behind you, who's in the back of you, and who's on the side, and where the pressure is coming from. So, it requires to zone in mentally, obviously, to be prepared, visualize what the position you're going to play in requires, and then the physical load I kind of explained in the beginning. Just be ready for that, and if you're out on the wing, that that you have to sprint a little bit more, or when you're on the 6 or the 8 or inside, that you have a little bit more steady pace, but you have to make more runs up and down, from box to box. So kind of preparing for that, visualize and be mentally ready for it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Next, we'll go last question to Joe Chats on Tap Sports.
Thanks, Fabi. Thanks, E. Fabi, I'm curious, you're talking about giving back and understanding all these roles that you have within the team. do the younger players around you seem to come to you seeing that you have that experience moving from positions, starting as a 9, then coming to Chicago and really evolving your game as you were going up and down between Bethlehem and Philadelphia, and now in Chicago, really solidifying yourself in the MLS roster? Do the young guys on the team seem to understand that, and are they coming to you during practice about that?
Not necessarily coming up to me, but sometimes it happens organically. Obviously, you see sometimes the young guys that have to play with a second team, they're not happy about it. Not that obviously they would prefer to play with the first team. I don't want to say they're not happy about it. Obviously, they want to give everything for the second team as well. But if you were to choose, you would rather play for the first team than the second team. So, just try to, sometimes it happens organically, saying that, hey, keep at it, keep doing well in these games with the second team, and they will give you a chance. Because that's how it happened for me sometimes when I played with the Bethlehem Steel, and back in my Philadelphia days, when I would score or have good performances. Jim Curtin was a really good coach in rewarding that, and appreciating the effort that you put in. So I think if we can build a similar kind of performance environment here, where guys get rewarded for good performances on the second team, and to see it as an opportunity rather than a punishment to go down to the second team, then it can really work. So I have the experience in that, and then sometimes I tell the guys, hey, that's how my situation was, and look how far I've come. So don't be so caught up in that situation, rather than zoom out and see the bigger part of your career, and you have so many years ahead. So use it as an opportunity.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fabi, for taking the time to speak with us today. Really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who joined the call.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fabi.
Thanks, guys.